we Saturday? Sunday. Welcome to a Sunday Moment of Harmony. Thank you for giving me mercy and for just pivoting with me for the weekend. I had a super busy weekend, still am. This is actually going to be a shorter moment because I have some things that I have to get into later on in the day. But I am excited, would not miss our moments, and am happy to get into it. So, happy moment. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. And again, as always, thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning into you. Thank you for what we create right here at a Moment of Harmony. Let me just get my soundtrack down a little bit. I feel like it's like loud, okay? So let's get all into it. We are in a brand new mini series. We are using the entire year of 2026 for a mini series. And we are in a brand new one. We're doing 4-week mini series every month. We have a brand new subject. It is different from our normal coursework, which normally goes months, sometimes even into the next year. But we are taking smaller bites, bigger results in 2026, taking our time to digest what we are going into. So I'm very happy for us to get into that today. And this series, 4 weeks, next 4 weeks are entitled I Know July. We're in July. I Know July. It's a big shout out to Mojo Brooks, one of my new fave comedians, but who always has the tagline, I know you, he says some things. I know you lying to the most, but we're using I Know You Lying because we are combating negative energy. We are shutting down emotions. We're shutting down anything down, okay? We're going away from the thoughts that we can't, that we won't, that we aren't. We are shutting down the naysayers and we telling them, I know you lying. Okay, who said I can't do it? I know you lying. So we're getting into that today. I'm super excited for us. Looking at my calendar, I know we have some birthdays. Where are we? The 12th? How are we in the middle of July? Didn't we just get started? This is crazy. It's crazy how this is happening. Like the middle of July is here. And whose birthday is my sissy boo? Happy birthday to my little sister Chickadee. Happy birthday, Cherish. Just turned 39, entered her next decade parade last year for her 30s. It's an exciting ride. I'm excited to be right by your side as you ride them 30s on out and welcome yourself into 40 next year. You're gonna love it here. You're gonna love it here. Okay, but happy birthday to you, extraordinary little sister, amazing person. Love you to life. So happy to celebrate you. And I know that there's probably other birthdays. The 11th, the 12th. Hey, Mr. Carter. You're so funny. He's so funny. He's always full of the jokes. In the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to moment. Let's moment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to Sissy for her birthday. And we can go ahead and get into our episode today, which is entitled The Only Thing I Can't Do. Can't stop, won't stop. This is today's episode. The only thing I can't do. So in this series of I Know July, we're going against, again, like I said, those naysayers, the negative energy. We said, that's not what it is about me. And we're going to be going into those thoughts, those energies, that self-dialogue, or even external forces, haters. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Haters saying you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, or you aren't. We're going to be doing that week to week to week. And now we are in you can't. Them saying you can't when you know you can. And again, like I said with today's episode entitled The Only Thing I Can't Do. Can't stop, won't stop. Okay. I know you lying. Okay, those intrusive thoughts, those negative patterns, the naysayers, the generational curses, those anchored to behaviors or history or scars. I know you. I know July. In July, Jew is lying. Okay, we're not falling victim to it. We're not claiming it. We're not subscribing to it. We're not speaking life over it. We are moving and grooving into a positive frame of thought and a better centered version of self. And we're saying, who said I can't? Who said I can't do it? Who said I can't win? Who says I can't recover? Who says I can't heal? Who says I can't find? I can't obtain? I can't receive? Or I can't retrieve? I know you lying. Who said that? So I'm super happy to get into that today. So we're gonna start off with some of the reasons. Yes, I shame. We're gonna start off with some of the reasons that we people doubt us. Because a lot of times when we hear like haters, naysayers, blockers, um, just all of that negative vibe. A lot of times we're thinking that people are always intentionally malicious. We're thinking that people may not always mean what they say, that they're trying to discourage you or block you. But really, there are a number of reasons why energies, entities, even self talk can come up against you. And our goal is not to understand why people are saying what they're saying in terms of making it make sense to us, but it is more so understand where and these energies are coming from in order to shut them on down. So we're going to get into that. That's going to be our first point. Going through some of the key moments and factors on why people try to say we can't do stuff. We can't. And we have to remind them the only thing I can't do. Okay? Only thing I can't do is stop shouting. Can't stop, won't stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. I think. We'll see. I kind of like the way it feels. But only thing I can't do is lose. Okay. We're gonna go into the second part of when we get into canning it, only can't. It's like a riddle. We're gonna break it down. Don't worry about it. And then at the end of the day, I can't lose. I can't stop and I can't let myself down. Anytime someone tells us we can't, that's the only thing we have to. I can't lose. I can't stop and I can't let myself down. If you not tying my can't to none of those things, don't belong to me. It's your can't, shorty. I think you dropped your can't over here next to my dreams. You might want to come and get them. They don't belong over here. Might have left your can't in the back of my car, shorty. I will mail it to you. Don't worry, it doesn't belong to me. So as we get into the mini series for this, we're starting today, but for the next 4 weeks, I know you lying. You said I can't when we know I can. And for those of us, I am being super silly. For those who are not always live, because there's a great deal of you that watch it on the playback, watch it on your way to work, watch it while you're cooking, while you're cleaning. You catch your moment when your moment is able to catch you. You don't always see the chat, and the chat is normally going. Much love and support, much love and honor and appreciation to all of my chat members. You keep the momentum, the algorithm, and the energy of the moment going in real time. And sometimes y'all don't know how much energy it takes to run the house, run these people, and keep my dreams running as well. And to make sure I carve out a quiet hour of just you and I for our moment. Okay, so when people engage, it is a beautiful thing. Love and light to you for always supporting and pouring in to our success as a moment of harmony. Okay, thank you. Now, let's get into this moment because, like I said, got to get out of here. So we got to make it real quick. Y'all know how I am about real quick. I'm not good with it, okay? Especially when the talking and the thoughts and the energy starts. So work with me, pray with me, grow with me, okay? All right. Only thing I can't do. Again, this is a moment for those who are, we've made it 7 months into the new year. 7 out of 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 months left in the year of 2026. And we are looking at where we've come from. We're looking at how things started, what those goals were looking like, what the revisions were looking like, with our structures, the structures around us and how they were. We made some big decisions and choices. We moved and pivoted as necessary. And last month we evaluated the progress in a perspective that was serving our well-being. Excuse me. Y'all know when I get to the end of the week, birthday celebrations this weekend, so the voice is going in and out. Okay, we have more birthday shenanigans today for my chickadee. So bear with me with the voice and the time thing, okay? So, but we made it all the way through the year. We're at the 7th month if you're watching in real time. If you are not, you're watching this some years later, you far from 2026, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. We're still going to get into a season that is necessary for you. And we are in the season of who says I can't. I will not accept I can when I know that I will not accept that I can't when I know that I can. So we get into a place now where it's like, look, you far in the year. What is coming true that you wanted to come true? What parts of your reality are parts that you desire, that you want? Are you surviving? Are you pushing through? And are you at a point where you are starting to believe the naysayers, even if one of those naysayers, let me move this mirror, even if one of the naysayers is you? Are you at that place? If so, if you're venturing in that place, if you've been to that place this year, if you want to avoid that place for the rest of the year, we are going to check in and say, um, only thing I can't do. There's only one thing I can't do. We're not going to subscribe again. We're not going to depend. We're not going to rely. We're not going to use all of those other I can'ts. Okay, so only thing I can't do. Can't stop, won't stop. That's it. That's all it is. The only thing I can't do. Can't stop, won't stop. When people, entities, energies, even self-negative doubt talk come to us with this energy of can't. Oh, I don't know that you can do that. I don't know that you might be too old. You might be unqualified. It may be too late. You may be too dependent, too stuck, too unaware, not skilled. All of the things that come across our minds or come out of the mouths and energies of others and external entities on the we can't thing, they normally come not only, but normally come from three major places. With you saying you can't, or others saying you can't, is normally coming from three main places. That is ability, proximity, and identity. Ability, proximity, and identity. Three major places when doubt is being sent to you, when doubt is dampening your dreams, is because people are either doubting your ability, hating on it, doubting it, same thing, you know what I'm saying? Doubting your ability, doubting your proximity, how close you are to your victories, doubting how close you are to understanding yourself, how centered you are in self, your central location. Or again, doubting your identity. How can you do this thing? You're a woman, or you're a man, or you are black, or you are Hispanic, or you are just somewhere in how you identify with who you are. Even part of your identity can be characteristic flaws, like you are insecure, or you are angry, right? These are titles or labels that can be put on you as a part of describing who you are, that can limit you and limit others' perspective of you, limit a trajectory of change and transformation for you, because you feel like people like me don't do things like that. People in this age range, people in this gender bracket, or in this gender identity, people in this um, field, or in this climate, at this time, in this era, we don't even live like this. It doesn't even exist. So in some way that you identify can be a blocker for why people feel like you can't do something. The way I want us to be able to reverse that with a moment of harmony is that when things are being put on us, so the first thing, the first thing, your ability. When people say, like, look, you're not able to do that. Maybe you have a disability. Maybe you have a disease. Maybe you have some major barrier like incarceration or paralyzation. There's something that really starts to feel like it's never going to happen for you. Walking again, running, marriage, independence, entrepreneurship, just being able to have control and freedom may not be a thing for you because people feel like you're just not able. You're not able to do it. You don't have the resources. You don't have the funds. You don't have the background. You don't have the skills. You don't have the information. There's all these reasons why it will come up from external forces for why you can't, why you don't have an ability to create a new reality for yourself. You're in too deep. It's gone too long. You stayed too long. You waited too late. All of these reasons. And that's why we're here in this series today at A Moment of Harmony. Not for the easy stuff, but for the super hard stuff. Not for the I can't lose weight, but if I go on a diet and work out, weight will come off. I'm talking about the hard can'ts. I want us to be able to still say, I know you lying. Okay? Um, you lying about it. You don't know what I'm capable of, because there's only one thing I can't do, right? Can't stop, won't stop. Only thing I can't do. Can't stop, won't stop. So the ability, the proximity, people feeling like you are not close. And look, 5 months left in the year. You are too close or too far, depending on how they want to dampen your dream, too close or too far from the end of the year to accomplish this goal. If you want to accomplish this goal, you needed to start in January. If you were going to accomplish this goal, you needed to not give up in March. If you were going to get this done, you needed to have so much of it completed by the 7th month of 2026. You are too far, too close, too late. Proximity. You can't touch your dreams. You're nowhere near your dreams. It's not yours. And therefore, you can't. That's what they say. You cannot. The proximity. You are not close enough to the people you need to be close enough to. I'm gonna get into that, right? When it comes to proximity, and when I think about proximity and possibility, they're a married group of function, of proximity, possibility. And whenever proximity has anything to do with how possible something is, I want us to always keep in mind how dynamic and instant a shift is. For those who have heard this story before from me, bear with me. But if you've never heard it before, right? The Moment of Harmony. Ding. The title of A Moment of Harmony. It came from various, okay, when I came up with A Moment of Harmony, it came up from various experiences and various or various points of my previous walks up until this point. But one of the main I would say one of the main moments, that's what I'll go with, that came to mind when I was entitling the series, and why it's so very sentimental to me, because I wanted to change the title so many times. As I grew in my platform, I wanted to get like hipper and, do the rebranding. Like, has it been called a moment for too long? And is it a little cliche and gimmicky now? And I got to the point where I was like, oh, healing with harmony, healing in harmony. I was going to do all these things. But the moment stayed. And the reason the moment stayed is this one truth that came from my very wise little brother, my baby brother, who is now transitioned. But one day, and I'm going to say it super quick as I can. This is a story in case you heard it before. One day, so I'm really big on like the horoscopes, like the zodiac. Everyone, who follows me knows, like, I'm a Cosmo head. So when it comes to like the alignment of the stars and the moon and the universal alignment and all the galactical gestures that are offered to life, I'm always receptive to them. So there was a time when I would, check my horoscope often, and sometimes in the morning, check it as my day was getting started. So one day, I checked a horoscope early in the morning, and it said that I was gonna have like one of the best days of my year. And it was like, you're gonna have an extraordinary, wonderful day, surprises, just joy, peace in your day. You're gonna have a great day. Ooh, and I embarked on the day as such. Great day ahead, super excited. That's what the horoscope said, right? From little Miss Aquario today. The day was horrible. Okay, it was a horrible day, and all types of crazy things happened. I worked a long day, my vocation work, in my community work. I was exhausted. It was actually my oldest son's birthday. I think maybe his 11th birthday. It was like his 11th birthday, and he was and I just spent so much. I didn't say wasted, but my time management, it seemed like everything that could go wrong, and the birthday, getting his birthday together after the event, and it just was chaotic. At the end, towards the end of the day, maybe early in the evening, after all of the events of the day were beginning to settle down, my baby brother asked me, well, I was going to the grocery store to get like juices and things for my son's celebration dinner. And my baby brother asked to go with me. He's like, he's going to go with me. And when I was driving him, he could tell that I was off, especially for a birthday, because I'm a birthday girl. So he was just like, why are you so down? You know, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I'm just upset. Like, I'm telling him all the things that happened in a day. And he said, in my day. And I'm like, and I had a stupid horoscope this morning that said this is going to be a phenomenal day. And it was not true. It was really the opposite of that. I'd have took a regular day over this, but it's the opposite. He said that this would be the greatest, like, it would be the greatest day. And he said, Harmony, because we were in the, like, early evening, 6, 5, 6. And he goes like, Harmony, it only takes one moment. It only takes one moment for a day to become the best day of your life. It only takes one moment for the greatest thing that ever can happen to you to happen to you. Like, the day's not over. How are you going to say the horoscope lied? Like, it takes one moment for a great to happen. And without getting emotional, I want to make that relevant to what we are talking about today when we talk about what we can and cannot accomplish, and when the limitations are put on us for proximity. Never be a fool to proximity. You sight beyond what I see, eyes sight beyond what I can see. Ashe. Hi, hey, darling. Hey, darling. That Rachel's here. Hey, boo. Sight beyond what I can see, knowledge beyond what I can comprehend is divine understanding. And sometimes when you are in the flesh, when you are in the real life, when you are in the everyday motion, your divine understanding may not be enacted. You may not be able, you can't see around on the corners. You don't always understand the alignment. You don't always know what the design is. The architecture may not be clear to you, the blueprint. Sometimes if you're standing in a room, you can't see the house, is what I'm saying. So being able to say I'm not close enough, not close enough to marriage because I'm not dating anybody, or I'm not close enough to pregnancy because, I don't have, I got to get this procedure or that procedure, or I'm not close enough to my childbearing years. I'm not close enough to wealth and riches because I'm not close enough to my career goals. I don't see it. I don't see it. And therefore, because I don't see that I'm close, I don't believe that I'm close. And then I don't believe that I'm close. I don't believe that I can. Proximity is not the greatest determiner, or the greatest reflection. It's not the greatest reflection for what's possible for you. Like my brother said, it only takes one moment. It takes one, oh my goodness, I didn't know that that was going to happen. I didn't see that coming. Oh my goodness, I didn't know. One surprise, one miracle, one answered prayer, one extremely well-timed manifestation before you realize, like, it just happened. Before today, the person that I would love for the rest of my life, I did not know them. That's a possibility. And you don't know how close you are. You don't know how far you've come. These are all proximal, right? So proximity is not a determine or a major determination. Identity, what is possible for you and not possible because of how you identify. Um, Everybody that knows me closely knows that I'm a super country music girl. I love country music girl. I'm a Southern Belle, in my heart. Okay. And in being a country girl, I love country music. Love it. Does something for me. Does something to me. Always has. Since I was a little girl, from my grandma. You know, from Mamie Alice playing her country music. But one of the reason that I brought that up is because K Michelle is an R&B musician. Hey, with the cowgirl boots. Do si do. Okay, do si do, bro. You know what I'm saying? K Michelle is an R&B singer that was forced to start out in R&B, wanted to come out as a country singer. Born and raised in Nashville, in Tennessee. Country is a turnip green, but a black girl also got some hood to her. Also has some spice to her. And when she became famous, loved her voice. When the labels got a hold of her, said absolutely no, absolutely not to country music. We can sell your voice, we can sell your personality, we can package you just well, but you're gonna have to do a little bit of love and hip hop TV shows. You're gonna have to do some R&B songs, some all about your past, and country music is a no-go. And initially they were telling her, like, look, once you get established as an R&B singer, that's something you can look into. That's something you can down the line, 20 years down the line, and she's just being able to venture into country music. K Michelle. And it's only because she now, not that they ever fulfilled the promise they gave to her, labels, executives, etc., but because she now makes enough money, is independent enough within her wealth and her celebrity, and is established enough to go after the dreams she started with. So in her identity was like, no, you are a black woman. There are zero to no, which is really not true, but very few, but not zero. But this is what was being said to her: zero to no successful black women in country music. We're not going to be able to sell this. You're not going to be able to sell it. Black people don't do country music. Rarely is this a successful venture. We're not investing in that. Giving that story because now people love her. Like, she can yodel. K Michelle, I love her country music. And even now she's on like the most current season of Housewives of Atlanta. And it's all about her pursuing this country music venture. But your identity being a reason that you can't do something is absurd. Also, not a great determination or determiner of what you are capable of. But it will be pushed on you constantly. If you are not able, if you are not in proximity, and if your identity doesn't line up with the standard vision of your dream, you may or others may feel like you cannot. When that is happening, when it's coming from others, it is the projection and the pursuit of happiness with Will Smith and Jaden Smith, which was a true story. When he said, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even me. And the reason that he was saying that, for those that are familiar with the movie, is because he was coaching his son and playing basketball, and the things that he couldn't do easily, he was telling his son he wouldn't be able to do easily. He realized that his son had passion, his son had drive, and he was projecting on his son like, you're not going to be able to do this because I tried it. And he corrected himself. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you can't do, not even me. Because there is because most people are sharing with you their personal blueprint, their personal mind space. Sometimes you write in small print, your font is different from mine. And if you only reading from your font, if you're only looking through your lens, my dreams may look obscure, they may look obscene, they may look unrealistic. You're looking from a safe space. You're looking from a cushion space, provided for space, or a space of lack. People will try to project, and even you will project on yourself. You can at times. So when we come across a barrier, ability, proximity, identity, or anything in that nature, when we come across a barrier or are presented with a barrier, or a barrier is projected upon us, I want us to be able to be mindful after a moment of harmony, and to be able to say, is this barrier that I'm facing a boomerang or a bridge? Meaning, is this something that I've put out and it has come back to me? My lack in behavior, my lack in faith, my lack in study, or my lack in development. Have I thrown out lack consistently? And that's why it's coming back to me when I want to apply for this new position, when I want to ask this person out on a date, when I want to try this new form of yoga or workout, when I want to start this new, learning this new language. Whatever is coming to me that I am bold enough to dream, but maybe not brave enough to see. I'm bold enough to dream, but not always brave enough to see whatever is coming my way. When I feel the can't start to rise in my chest, or when someone throws the can't, slams that can't door in my face, is this a boomerang? Are you throwing this from your own fear? Are you throwing this from your own failures? Are you trying to close this can't door in my face because it was closed in your face? Is this a boomerang coming back from something else? Or is it a bridge? Which very well means that I can take this inability or this barrier. I can take this challenge and I can build a bridge. It doesn't mean that I'll step into my can tomorrow. It doesn't mean that I'll immediately be a mogul or a business owner, a homeowner, a bride or a groom. I may not move right into the dream, but can I take this can't and build a bridge closer to what you can't do this, you're too old, you can't do this, you don't have this credentialing, you can't do this, this person, you're afraid of this person or this circumstance, you can't do it because of fear, you can't do it because of money. And here's the thing with can that I love so much. Here's the thing about can. What I can do, and we're going to get into that next. What I can do is take a step towards my dream. I can stop holding all these can'ts. Oh, it's too late. Oh, the economy. Oh, the times. Oh, the administration. Oh, my ex. Oh, my kids. Oh, my mom. Oh, my dad. I can take all these can'ts and I can literally replace them. They are anchors. They are cement. They are concrete. They are blockages. And I can take all of them and free my thoughts and my mind and my hope and the energy for what is possible up with just one can. And then the next can. And the next can. Okay? You did it. For 20 years, you've been in finances. All of a sudden, you want to be an educator. All of a sudden, you want to be a bus driver. You want to be a pilot, right? Ability, proximity, identity. Somebody or multiple people or yourself are giving you all these reasons for why you cannot 20 years into your career now be a pilot. Well, you never went to pilot school and it's too late and you're too old and the two. Well, I'm going to take these 2 feet and I'm going to step right around your can't is what's going to happen, because if I'm bold enough to dream it, now I must be brave enough to see it. And can't put blockages over our vision. It actually stops us from being able to project in a direction that serves us visually. Once I believe I can't do it that way, I can't do it without this help. Can't do it without this money. I can't do it without these people. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Once I'm in that, there's nowhere else for me to look in this dream. There's actually nothing else for me to do with this dream but throw it on out. Ashe. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Mr. Carter. So I refuse to set up the barrier of can't in my vision. I refuse to cover my vision with what I can't do. And I desire, or I choose, refuse and choose, I choose to create a bridge. Why am I telling myself I can't do this? Is this a boomerang? Fear I threw out, generational curses I've been giving energy to, thoughts and words that people say that I've allowed to ring true. Boomerang. This barrier is a boomerang barrier. Let's make it a bridge barrier, or turn the barrier into a bridge, should I say. Let's turn this barrier into a what can I do. So when we talk about can it, people say can it. It's like I believe it's a 90s term. I know I got Mr. Carter on the line. Back in the day, is that what that started in the 90s? Like can it, when someone is like talking, and it's like another way of like shut up, right? Shut up. So can it. And I think it's 90s, I think. Could have came before us, but that's kind of where I remember hearing it first. So can it, right? The only thing that can't is to can't. All right, y'all, I'm gonna stop being silly with y'all. Okay, only can. Only a can cancel a can't. I know. Thank you, Mr. Carter. Only a can cancel a can't. So when they start talking about can't, tell them can it. Can the can't, because I can. All right? Turn into Dr. Susan. You know what I'm saying? Give them a riddle. Riddle me this, okay? If I can't do it, how come I'm still doing it? Okay. All right. Can't cancels out the can't. And what I mean by that is I have been in the most, okay, one of the things that I do with myself a lot is I love to learn new things. Love to learn, and I love to master. I love to be a master at whatever I put my mind into and start to look at. I never just have like a hobby that I'm looking into. I become like, until I master it, it's like becomes my little obsession. So in that, I become a person of many skills, many talents, and can do many things really well. But it's because I put a lot of intention into like mastering it, not just dabbling or understanding it, but can I do this with my eyes closed? Anything worth doing, I need to be able to do it and do it well. So but I also even though I put a lot of energy into like development of skills and talents and gifts, I put a lot of energy into my spiritual well-being. In time, this can create a clash where, and I'll explain the clash. It can, without my balance, without my intention, without my awareness, but it also can create beautiful growth and abundance. But, and I'm sharing this because I know I'm not the only person that does this. Hone skills, grow, self-development, normally, regularly, naturally, just constantly developing different abilities within self. You develop these things, and you also develop your spiritual being. Now, what will happen is that when I go out into the workforce, I am qualified for many things because I have I'm abundant in these skills. I've sat in front of Microsoft Windows this much time and in spreadsheets this amount of time. I've studied by other languages and being bilingual this much, and I've worked into I'm a studier, right? So I've become versed and skilled. And because when you have many skills, it means you are good at many things and you can do many jobs well, which is one of the reasons I like being skilled, right? But because I can do many things, it doesn't mean I love many things. Skilled at a lot, in love with very little. I'm going to say very little. In love very specifically. That's what I'll say. Lots of things I can do, but about this much of things I absolutely am called and love to do. In that can create conflict. Like I said, without intention and balance, it creates the conflict because I end up, I don't say always, but I end up often getting into a career bind where it's like, I'm good at what I do. I'm appreciated and valued to a degree, because corporate America is corporate America, with what I'm doing, but it isn't feeding me. It's not fulfilling me. It's not my mission. It's not my dream. It's not feeding my wild and free spirit that needs to give love and needs to give growth and innovation and progress and revolution. The stuff that keeps me going, I'm over here pushing papers, keeping things organized, orderly, and structured. But boy, do I want to change a life. Okay, um, that the conflict comes when it comes. I get into a space where it's like I'm feeding people. I have to take care of people. I'm gonna get into the job. Then I always, as a perfectionist, have to get all consumed with doing my job perfectly and being the best at what I'm doing. And so now I'm all caught up in it, and everyone thinks I love it, and even I think I love it. And then I get into a space years in, months in, and I realize that the spirit is hungry. I haven't been able to do what I came here to do. So that conflict often puts me in a space of career reflection where I have to sit and I have to say, look, the things you love to do don't pay that much money. But the things that pay money are not necessarily things you love to do. What are you going to do? Time is zooming. I'm 40 years old now. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay here for another 20 years? Are you going to do this for 10 years? Are you going to follow your dreams? Are you going to catch that fire? What are you going to do? And when I start that reevaluation process, I often start to be like, well, in order to make this much money over here, you need this. I start to go through all the things I don't have, or the time I don't have, or the help I don't have as a single mother, right? You start to go through all the reasons that you going after this thing that's calling you. It's calling you, right? The new course at the college calling you, the degree, right? That degree is calling you, right? The being a mom or a dad is calling you. Being husband or wife is calling you. Excuse me. Being a business owner or being successful in your field, extremely successful, it's calling you. Being a music star or movie star, like there's some people that just know they were born to be a star. It's literally calling you. And as it calls you, and we know it calls us because it just won't lose us. We're doing good, and the stuff that isn't it, and it still keeps on pulling us over here. I feel like I just need this thing. I want to have this as a part of my reality. So it calls us. And then it calls you, and you come up with all these reasons why you can't answer that call. Why that's not even possible. Stop calling me because I can't do this. I don't have this. It's not, all of the things. What I recently begun to do, because I'm tired of the cycle. I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to go find something. I'm going to beast in a place that I love. And I'm going to be proud of all my beasting and how great I'm doing in my plaques and my employee of the month. And I'm going to be so happy about it. And then somewhere in the middle of life, I'm going to be reminded about how free and alive and vibrant I would feel doing the things I was born to do. That whisper in my ear that always says, you are so much more than this, right? Maybe it's not for everybody, but if you have that whisper in any area of your life, and you go and you find reasons to combat that whisper, I want you to understand that yes, you can. Yes, you can. Will you take the approach? What is the traditional approach or route? No. The path of least resistance? Absolutely no. Go the way that, like I said, do it the way that everyone else does it? No. But will you find a way? Will you create a way? And even more than that, will you believe a way into existence? Absolutely. So this is what I've started to do when I get into that evaluative spirit. And I'm just like, look, you want the money to match the dream. You want the dream and the ambition and the goal and the mission to all align. Stop talking about what you can't do. It only blocks what you can. And immediately I look at something now and I say, what can I do? I do that with my students when I'm working with my students and they get to a point where they look at this math, this long division process, and it's like, I don't know how to do this. Or they look at a paragraph and there's struggling readers or emerging readers, and they say, I can't read this many words, and they'll do that before they even try, before they even look at the stuff. I can't spell it by myself. I can't read it. I don't know this type of math. Or math might look different. I might have They may be used to like 52 times 6, which is the 2-digit times the 1-digit. I might add on an extra one, 523 times 6. And immediately they're like, I never seen that before. I can't do that. We do that a lot in life. Now I'm speaking teacher talk right now. But in real life, we do that a lot. Something looks bigger, it looks large, it looks unfamiliar. It looks, I mean, no one in our family, we're first generation with it, and it looks like what the heck, you know what I'm saying? We're here to say in a moment of harmony, I know you lying. If you say I can't do it, I know you're lying. I know you're lying about that, because watch, instead of looking at it and saying, I can't do this, I can't get out of the debt, I can't create, I can't heal the family, I can't find the right circles. Instead of the I can't, we are going to look and say, what can I do? That's what I've begun to do in my evaluative phases of reflection around career. What can I do? And I encourage my students in the same way. Yet you looking at this whole thing saying you can't, but are there any words in here you do know? They might go, oh, I know that. I know was, were, sight words. And then they realize it's only about 2 words in the sentence that are unfamiliar, and they can be, so they'll say, well, I don't know these words. Okay, do you know the sounds for the letters in these words? Look at you. Said you couldn't do. Did it? The whole thing. And it comes down to breaking things down like that for us. What can I do in this situation? One step at a time, one bite at a time, one moment at a time. I can do this. I can have the life I deserve. I can create the reality that I desire. I can have the abundance that is innately my right as a divine being of light. It is possible, and I can take, if it's one step at a time, because sometimes one step turns into a leap on the right direction. One leap, all of a sudden now you catch how many times, a child wants to be a singer. The Brandies and Monica and Ushers of the, you want to be a singer, and you do a little school. It starts out as a school talent show. Hold on one second. Sorry, Mommy Mercy. It starts out as a school talent show. And it starts out as a, sorry, Mommy Mercy, I'm doing too many things at one time. It starts out as a school talent show, and then it goes into now they perform at a birthday party for a friend, or someone asks them to stand up and sing in church, and one day they're at the mall and just the right producer. So you got these little steps, and all of a sudden Jermaine Dupri walks by and you are the next music group. You know what I'm saying? These little steps, and then you're in an elevator. All of a sudden, you take these steps that go to a leap. Just move in the direction of can, is all I'm saying. Move in the direction of can. Obey your can. Don't obey your can't. Don't own a can. You shouldn't even have a can. It's not yours. Can it? Can it? You know what I'm saying? Can the can't with the can. Okay? Now, gotta get out of here. I was supposed to be quick, and I'm already almost at an hour. So we probably going to top it off right at 60 minutes because I got to go. Love y'all and thank y'all for this moment. But I have a busy Sunday. When you have the talk or the voice or the words, the doubt, the fear, they start to come up. You want to try this thing. You want to put your resume and your cover letter out here, or you want to spruce up your portfolio. You want to join a dating app. You want to revisit or rekindle a situation that seemed, long gone. Whatever you want to do. And those things start to come up in you like, girl, don't. I'm not saying discernment. Now, discernment is your friend. I'm saying doubt. And those are two different things. Doubt is immediate fear. It has no profound facts backing it up. It has no actual reasoning behind it. It has no secure, leveled, healing thought process accompanied. So not doubt. Not just doubt, not doubt, discernment, right? Discernment is instinctual, it's divine, it's what is it? comprehended, and you've thought it through, you've processed. This is discernment. This is something that, look, I'm looking into what I know and what I understand, and I'm appropriately assessing and saying, no, don't go that route, don't do that thing. Discernment and doubt are different. So when you get to the point where people around you like, girl, I mean, if I was you, I wouldn't. You too old. I know sometimes my baby sister, she's still playing around about having another baby. I personally think she's gonna do it, but we'll see. But she keeps going with this baby thing, baby thing. She was doing that with the marriage thing. Then she got married, and now does she want to do it again? Right? Because we're not quite spring chickens. Okay, we a little more evergreen these days, but she's going after some brand new chapters within herself, and there are all types of opinions. Don't do it. Do it. Maybe don't do it. Don't try it. Why you? But here's the thing. Whatever it is that I'm moving towards, I cannot fail. I know you all have probably heard this saying before. What would you do? And I think of this often when I start to get tired, weary, impatient, tired of waiting. Okay. And I start to hear in my head when they say the saying that says, "What would you do if you knew you couldn't lose?" When we watch the movies with the genies and they grant you 3 wishes and you can't die, and how brave people come knowing that they can self heal or, what is it called? Why am I'm mad? I'm mad right now that I'm drawing a blank on this word. I can see it in my head. Y'all know what's happening these days in 40, but it'll come to me. But it's like a regenerate. It's like when they cut something off and then it grows back. It'll come back. It'll come back. Right now, I'll go with regenerate. Right. You know that you're indestructible. What would you do if you knew that your dreams were indestructible? What would you do if you know that divine nature, being good in your heart and well in your environment, makes you indestructible to what people say, to what people think, to even your own mistakes and past and issues, that as long as you believe in that you're continuously growing to empower and improve yourself, your life, and the lives of those around you, or the lives of those important to you, because everybody around you not important. I know that. Now, I know that now. What would you do if you knew that you couldn't lose? Right? And I go after that now. If it is written in your favor, how do you know you can't do this? You haven't made it to the end of the story. You can't see the house when you're just in a room. So let me not assume that I'm not close to the bathroom. There's nothing in the basement for me because this room is empty. The rest of the house is empty. Let me not assume. Let me not assume that if I take chances on myself, so risk on myself, believe in myself, listen to myself, love myself enough to make the move, make the call, do the thing. Let me not assume that I can't. So now I want us to keep this in mind as we close out a moment of harmony today. I want us to be able to say this. I can't. Only thing I can't do. I don't want to hear can anymore. I don't want to think about it. Yeah, I don't even, when it comes, as y'all know, I'm a rebellious Aquarius, and literally telling me I can't will just boost me towards yes, I can. But I know that philosophy doesn't work for everyone. It definitely works for me. But within my own mind, okay, so this is me talking to myself. It's easy for me to rebel against what somebody is saying, just a little bit easier than it probably should be. But for myself, for your own self-talk, or even again, just images, propaganda, media, era, time, change, transition. There's so many things that communicate with us regularly. So for the things that are communicating with you that says you can't. Your time is over. At 40 years old, even like listening to men in the dating world, and what is it like to be what's like not a young girl, and in dating, and like it just, people are always saying something. Let the chorus of sayers say. Let the believers believe. Let the doers do, and let the miracles manifest. Okay? I want us to be able to say, when people say, hey, you can't, You can't survive without this old version of yourself. You can't make it without all of these extra resources. You can't do it without help. I want you to be able to say, what I can't do is lose. What I can't do is stop. And what I can't do is let myself down. Only thing I can't do. Only thing I can't. I don't care who's talking to you. Your nana, your grandma, your parents, your boss, your co-workers. You're saying, hey, I think I'm going to develop this new software programming for the office. And people say, oh, well, you're not in IT, and IT already gave us the best. I don't think you should do that. I don't think you can do that on your computer. I don't think you can. Only thing I can't do. I know you lying. The only thing I can't do is lose. Is stop and let myself down. That's the only thing when I go to bed at night I know I can't do. I cannot lose. Not in these shoes. I cannot stop. Unstoppable. Shout out to the big brother. Hey Jess. And I cannot let myself down. Not can't let my parents down. I can't, and I have children, so no, you really can't let them down as people do have to eat. Um, but even more, because children grow up and they become adults. Okay? I can't let myself down. I will refuse to face myself at 80, 90 years old talking about I was too afraid to try for you, to fight for you, to give to you, to stand up for you, to provide your needs, your desires, and your dreams, and to advocate on behalf of all that you deserve. I can't let myself down. Listen, I lays in here with just her. Sometimes B is here, but a lot of times I lay in here with just me, and I wake up with just me, and I don't care if you do wake up with somebody else. And you got people like I do have coming to sneak in the bed at night. You are in your skin. This is your life, and you will leave this train the same way you got on it, with just yourself. Excuse me, and you'll have lots of love if you're ever so blessed, lots of experience, memories, and people you will hold dear forever on the entire journey. But just like you got on that train, you are going to get off that train, and you got on, and you need to make sure that you made this journey every single thing you wanted to be, every single thing you deserved for it to be. And when you salute, you know what I'm saying? You say, listen, you talk to yourself. You say, girl, I did that for you. I loved, I conquered, I learned, I believed, I tried, I got back up, I fought. I did that for you. I did that for us. I did that for this life. And here at a Moment of Harmony, we are doing that with, for, and about one another. So, only thing you can't do is, I can't stop, won't stop. Only thing I can't do is lose. Only thing I can't do is stop. Only thing I can't do is let myself down. I can't lose. I can't stop. I cannot let myself down. I don't care nothing about what they talking about. I don't care nothing about what no one else is talking about. I don't care about what's happening in all the many facets of life and its components. Right here in the center of self, which is my universal centering, I cannot lose. I cannot stop. And I cannot let myself down. All right, y'all, can't stop, won't stop. I love y'all. I got to get in here because this does have to stop. Because I do have things I have to do. And if I don't stop, I won't stop. And we'll have an hour and a half of a moment. I can't even say that because I don't even think we're supposed to be talking about Diddy. But I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. He's coming down there. Hey, Mr. Carter. All right. I love y'all. Go ahead and take really good care of yourself. Like really, really good care of your summer care. Why is summer care so different from the other cares? Love you, boo. Take really good care of yourself. As summer care does hit different, right? A little shea butter, a little sunshine, a little outdoors, a little ice drink, a little friends and family. Take summer care. Take some summer care of yourself. And then, after you've done a lot of really good things for yourself, listen to yourself, loved on yourself, let yourself, you know what I'm saying? Go on and take really good care of someone else. We are all in this together. I love you all so much. Thank you for making the moment a moment. And I'll see you next week for another moment of harmony.